Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I don't believe in long introductions telling you what I'm going to do. I just want to do it. This is my new printer, Ender 3 V3 SE. I have put one of these together before at work, but this is the first time I've put one together that I've been in the room by myself. I can't ask any questions, so you're going to see me following directions here. It goes against everything I believe in, but I'm going to follow the book on this one. So we're going to go right from opening the box all the way to making the first print. You can see everything that comes out of the box here. So I think that's the power cable. The first little bag was the instruction book and the stickers. Second little bag has the filament and the tools in it. That's the filament spool holder. It's all in one piece on this one. And all that's left in the box now is the printer. 2 pieces. Here's the gantry with the hot end attached already. Everything's there. There's only one thing left in the box other than all this foam. Well packed. Love that. There it is. The base of my printer. It's actually pretty heavy. Set that down and get rid of the box here. Nothing else. That's it. I think in 12 minutes, you're going to see me shrug my shoulders and say, that's it. I'm done. 12 minutes into this video, we're going to have this thing put together. I'm going to speed up a couple things like me screwing screws in because you don't want to watch me put 3 screws in 3 holes and keep doing the same thing over and over. Oh, wait, there's more foam under there. Like I said, well packed. Okay, that's it. Let's get these 2 pieces put together. Basically, that's all there is to it. So here I am. Gonna unpack the warranty card, the instruction book, and the stickers. I like the stickers. I put them on my thermos and whatnot. I think that little needle nozzle cleaner, that's what I've got in my hand there. That's what that little piece of foam was on. Little nozzle cleaner. That's handy to have. I like the tools. Okay, now I'm going through the instructions, which are available in a lot of languages. Fortunately, English is at first. And now I'm opening the tools and go right for this first one. Every time, I like this tool. I don't see me ever getting rid of any of these or loaning them out. I really like the clippers. I use them to open the plastic on the filament, of course to cut the filament, cutting supports off of the prints. If you have to print supports on things, very handy little side cutters. I really like them. And now, a bunch of little bags with screws in them. They're not really labeled, but there's really no way to mess this up. There's the right number of screws for the right number of pieces. That there was the USB adapter with an SD card. Yeah, this printer accepts an SD card, the full-size SD card. Okay, and then you could see there's a bunch of tools, a little mini screwdriver and some Allen keys. All right. Gantry going on the base. Me reading the instructions like a good little camper. Honestly, you don't have to. I mean, yeah, you should read the instructions. I've done this before, so I just don't want to miss any steps. I'm very much like this with the IKEA furniture too. I make sure that I go through step 1, 2, 3, right to the end. So I want to do it in the right order so I don't miss anything. Here we go. There are 3 screws. And which wrench do they use? That one there. That go into the bottom of the base here that hold the gantry on. Like I said, you don't need to watch this. So 1, 2, and 3. Tighten them up, finger tight, with the Allen key. That's it. That side is attached. Now this side looks exactly the same. Sorry, I didn't turn it for the camera to see it better. I'll do better next time. Same thing though. 3 screws in the same place. You can't miss them. There's 3 holes there. 1, 2, and 3. And then tighten them up. And that's the last time you have to turn it over, I think. Now on the one side, from the back you can see this better. On the side I'm working on there are 2 screws that go in here, and you're gonna probably see me check the instructions again to make sure. Oh, wait a second, am I doing this right? Yeah, see, I knew I was gonna do that. The other side, there is a little motor in the way. So there is no screws on the other side. There's just 2 screws on this side to tighten up that gantry. So that's it. 3 on the bottom, 3 on the other side on the bottom, 2 on the top, and the gantry is attached. The next step in the instructions is the filament spool holder. The filament spool holder has 2 screw holes in the top, and it should be facing the front because that's where the hot end is, you can see. Okay, so we are looking right now at the front. I'm standing at the back of the machine. If you're new to this, I'm standing at the back. We want this filament spool holder to face front like this, because you could put this on backwards theoretically, and then you'd have to take 2 screws out and put 2 screws back in. It's not a big deal. Don't worry about it. All right. Oh, I was wrong. I got to turn it over again. Oh, yes, that's right. The control panel. The control panel has a plug right here. And you plug into the back, and then 3 little screws that hold it right there. Which Allen wrench fits? Not that one. It's that one. My one suggestion to them would have been make all of the screws the same size head, but there's got to be a reason they do these things. It's not a big deal. I get some Allen wrenches out of it. And 1, 2, 3, and she's done. Stand it up, and now for the most satisfying part. I mean, you could leave this to the end, but I'm doing it right now because this feels so good. Take that screen protector off. Oof. Love it. All right, what's next? Instructions. Ooh, the cable. The big cable that's hanging off the side. Are you a little intimidated by connecting cables? Don't be. This is super easy. There's, I can see a little cable there. Can you see that little wire coming off the end? Remember that for after. We're gonna get to that in a second. You can just push this down. You can move the head side to side if you want. It's right in the middle, so I like it. Now this cable goes in here. If you've ever attached RAM to a computer, it's similar to that. It's got these 2 little pinchers on the side that you move out of the way. Then you push the cable in, and those 2 little pinchers will come together and hold it. If they don't, you can pinch them with your fingers. I said the word pinch a lot. And then that's holding it in, which is all well and good. However, there is a FFC fixing clip assembly. If you're looking at the instructions, that's what it's called. It's a little plastic clip with 2 holes in it, and then there's 2 black screws that go in. Oh man, which size wrench is this one? Yeah, not that one, of course. I'm very bad at picking the right size wrench the first time. I'm usually pretty good at picking it the second time. And those 2 screws hold this fixing clamp here, which gives it a little extra support on that cable. So the cable's already plugged in. Did that on the first step. The second step is just putting this little clip on here with these 2 screws that hold that cable nice and secure. And that cable is not going to droop down like that behind, because the next step after this, I don't want to get ahead of myself. I'll wait for me to finish tightening these 2 screws. And on the cable, there is a plastic sleeve around the cable. You can see it right there by my hand. Right. Oh, now I'm touching it. Okay. You can still see that one little wire hanging out of the cable. We're going to get to that in a second. That's the next step after this one. This step is I'm pulling on the belt above to move it up and down. There's a clip on the back side of the gantry and this plastic sleeve slides into the clip. In fact, on the plastic sleeve, it tells you this. So you can't put it in the wrong place. It's the plastic sleeve. It just, you pinch it into the bottom, or push it into the bottom and then pinch it in half, and it slides into the top. It's super easy. Okay. Now, there's that little wire that we saw hanging off the cable there. Yeah, it attaches to the back of this motor right here. And now that entire cable is connected. That was it. Cable into the top of the hot end, pinch the cable into the clip, and then, oh wait, there's another. What's the next step? The next step is there's another wire. There's another wire at the bottom. Let me turn this around so you can see. Aha, see there's a little wire at the bottom and there's a little motor right there. That needs to be plugged in. Tickety-boo. That is it. That is literally it. That is, the next instruction is plug it into the wall. We have assembled our printer. This is such a nice little printer. Boy, I love how it comes in just two pieces like that and very little work to do. I'm going to plug this into the wall, and then you can see that I can see it right there beside the red power switch. Okay, I can't see it in the video, but I can see it here as I'm looking at it. It's right there, Kev. Right there. Yeah, you found it. Boy, this guy putting the thing together is a little slow. Okay, that's it. Oh, and then on the back in the middle, that's what I'm checking right now, there's a switch depending on whether your country uses 110 or 100 or 220. I don't know what the real numbers are. If you're an electrician, you'll correct me, but in Canada and the US, we use 110, and you can flip the switch. In China, where I'm at now, we use 220, so it was already set. Okay, let's get to the settings here. I'm flipping the page in the instruction manual, and it says to go to the fourth step. So you just turn that little knob, and it goes to loading. No, leveling, sorry. There's print, prepare, control, and leveling. So I hit leveling, and then there's three things on the screen, three little pictures of the nozzle, and it's got to go through all of these. So I'm going to first put some filament in while I'm waiting for this. The instructions even in the book say, cut the front of the filament at 45 degrees and break it off straight. Okay, so I've cut it at 45 degrees. This is just the little sample roll of filament they gave me, which actually I printed quite a lot of stuff with. It's enough filament to get used to it. So on this Sprite extruder, I love this hot end. You can see my left hand, I'm pinching down a little knob, and then you push the filament in, and it should go in quite a way. It will go in all the way down to the nozzle, but the nozzle's not heated up yet. So for now, I just did that. I'm just trying to kill some time while I'm waiting for this thing to do its... Oh, I haven't pushed the button yet. Oh, I'm following the instructions. Boy, good boy, Kevin. That was 3.4 filament loading, yeah. Now I'm going to 4.1 leveling. So you turn the knob, see, turn the knob, and then press in, and there's three orange nozzles. That's what I was talking about before. Nozzle heating, nozzle cleaning, and then nozzle auto Z offset. And now the thing is calibrating itself. So it's got to do a nozzle heating. See, the nozzle wasn't hot enough. Honestly, if you want to wait and put the filament in later, it's so much easier with a hot nozzle to just push it through. I'll talk about that in a little bit. But we're going to let this machine do the calibrations that it needs to do. It's moving down towards the bed. And it does take a little time, so we're not going to sit here and watch the whole time. So once it stops moving, I'm going to skip ahead in the video. If you're doing this with yours, don't worry. The machine is working. When I skip the video, the machine is working. You can see right now all three of those are still orange, those nozzles on the screen. And now we're going to skip ahead. Oh, see that first one's flashing blue? Yeah, flashing blue, it's working on it. Oh, now the second one's flashing blue. It's working on nozzle cleaning. I skipped ahead a little bit. So for nozzle cleaning, I guess you do need to have the filament loaded. Yeah, I was wrong earlier. Load your filament in 3.4 like it says to. Be good. Don't listen to me. Listen to the instructions. Okay. Now that is, oh, it's still flashing blue, so it's not done. Nozzle cleaning, that tells us what it's working on. It's solid blue now, so it's done. And we're going to nozzle auto Z offset. So it's going to move around a little bit. And the Z axis is the up and down. Okay, if you're brand new to this, the Y axis is what the bed is doing. See the rails on the bottom there, the bed moves forward and backward. That's the Y axis. That's it right there, Y axis. That's the X axis, the head going back and forth. X and Y. And now up and down, that's Z. That's your Z axis, or Z, as we say in Canada and in the UK. X, Y, Z, that is your 3-dimensional printing. Okay, so on this printer, the X axis and the Z axis are on the gantry. The X goes back and forth and the Z goes up and down. And then the Y axis is on the print bed itself. The bed moves forward and backward. Not every printer is the same. There's many different combinations of those three, so this is a very common one, especially for entry-level machines, which this is. The Ender 3 V3 SE is a very entry-level machine. Its price is incredibly low, about $200 US, depending on savings and coupons that you can get. But for $200 US, you get this machine that is calibrating itself like this. Oh, so now it's done the Auto Z offset. It's going to auto bed leveling. This is the big one. This is the reason that I like these new machines, is that if you had a machine before, you used to have to do this step manually, turning knobs on the bottom to try to get that build plate to be perfectly level. And now here the machine is just doing it itself. I still haven't touched the thing, it's doing it. So you can see the numbers popping up there. It's going to test it in 16 different spots. The numbers that are green mean it is level. And it tells you in millimeters how level it is. Blue means relatively level. We're super happy with blue as well. And I think it's just going to be in that front corner that it's going to be blue. If my memory serves me right, this one's going to be green too. Yeah, so across the back it's going to be green. Yellow means it's inclined, and red means significantly inclined. So you don't want to see any of these numbers in yellow or red. If they do, there's steps to take to fix that. But as you can see on mine, all green, a couple of blues, very happy with that. The bed is level. And I've printed with this already, and the prints have been fantastic. So I'm not worried about the bed leveling at all. It has worked great. There. Auto bed leveling complete. All the calibrations are done. And basically, as you saw, I had very little to do. Now, the bottom of the screen says confirm. So we just have to turn that knob and get out of here. Press down on the knob. Yeah. Actually, don't mind that it's not a touch screen. Oh, I'm changing to it. Okay, so I didn't print anything with the white filament first. I had it loaded for the nozzle cleaning, etc. But I'm gonna go to this nice orange and gold filament because I've been waiting for this machine. I've had projects that I need to get done, and I just figure, hey, first print with this machine, gonna get her done. So you can see I press with my thumb on that lever, and then the filament goes right in. I usually like it a little higher than that. Oh, what am I doing? Am I turning the temperature up? There, see, a little bit of white gob came out. Cleaned it out. Now, to be honest with you, what I usually do to change filament You can see here there's the nozzle temperature and the bed temperature. Those are two numbers that you'll be watching all the time. This one I went to prepare and then extrude, and it'll automatically push filament out. You can do extract, and it'll automatically heat the nozzle and pull the filament back. To be perfectly honest with you, what I usually do, I just go to the next one down on the main screen. So it's print, prepare. I went to prepare on this one, but I usually go to the next one, control. Go control temperature nozzle and turn the nozzle up to 240. And then once the temperature of the nozzle's up to 240, you can pull the old nozzle, the old filament out very easily. Put it away. Put the new filament roll on, push it in, and then the nozzle's already hot, so you can just keep pushing yourself. Rather than this one, the machine is extruding, it's pushing. But see, if you just release that lever with your thumb, you can press as much as you want. So I'm going to press a bunch of filament through. I raise the gantry up a little bit, push a bunch through so that, oh, okay, now I've got it all cleaned out. I see that it's running nice and smooth. Then go back to control temperature, nozzle temperature, turn it down to 0, and you're ready to go. So either way, you can have it do it itself or do it yourself manually. Now, SD card into the side. This is a beginner printer, does not have Wi-Fi connection. My one little complaint about it, and it's not a very big complaint because I don't mind using the SD card. Okay, then that first menu item is print. You can see the top little blue button there that I'm on. It says, do you want to configure? No, we just did a configuration. So I've got it turned off. And then I turn it to print and hit enter. There. Now, it has to warm up the bed. And it has to warm up the nozzle. So it's not going to start printing instantly for you unless you've got it warmed up already. But sometimes you'll have to wait a couple of minutes because the bed temperature has to get up to about 50 degrees. The nozzle temperature has to get up to about 220 before it'll start printing. But because we don't want to wait, I just skipped ahead. It always does this. Always puts a line here to clean out the nozzle so that it knows that the nozzle is printing. And that's how you can see that. Oh, that nice little line of filament coming out. That's not part of your print. Unfortunately, on this print, it's going to get in my way. So I'm going to try to get it off of here quickly before it comes back. You don't need to do this. I could have cut it off after, but I just know this model that I'm printing is a big square and it's right there. It's going right from edge to edge, so I just didn't want it in the way. Thought it would look ugly on video. So here it is. That's my first print. You can see the filament coming out. That's that first line around, and then it does the second line around, depending on how thick your walls are. Oh, you know what? I think this print, in the slicer settings, it had a raft for bed adhesion automatically in the slicer settings, and I forgot to turn it off. You know, I don't usually worry too much about bed adhesion. I have things stick to the bed pretty well, especially on a first print on a brand new bed. It's gonna stick really well. And this print that I downloaded, I'm making a box to hold remote controls. And I downloaded it from Printables, and I think the automatic slicer settings had a raft on it. Oh, that raft is going to be a nightmare to get off this print bed later. I'm sure the print will stick well. It'll stick too well. Yeah, we'll see at the end when I pull it off how that goes. But you can turn those kind of things off in your slicer settings. Once you start manipulating files, and I just printed this one exactly how it was. Sometimes you'll make it a little smaller, a little bigger. You can use, that's pretty fun. You can see this filament, it's orange and gold. And it's turning out gold on the back side and orange on the front. I'm loving it. Hopefully it turns out as well. So if you have any questions about this printer, by all means leave a comment. If you're thinking about getting one and don't know if it's the right printer for you, by all means ask a question. My very next video I post is going to be the exact same video with the Ender 3 V3 KE. because I also got one of those, and I also really like it. I'm a big fan of these. I have my first printer ever was the Creality K1. And as much as I liked it because it was my first printer, I really prefer these Ender 3s. Not too many people will say that because the K1 is nice looking, it's expensive, it's fast. This SE is not fast, not compared to the KE or the K1. But I have things that I could do to fix that. I have some options that I can add to this printer. I just haven't yet because it's been printing so well. I hesitate to make any adjustments when I'm having no problems. The only problem I will have is maybe the speed. I'm going to run a little test, maybe make a video and see what the big difference is between the KE and the SE in speed. If you have ideas of what you would like to see in a video, put that in the comment too. Knowing that I have the SE and the KE, what do you want to see? Do you want to see the bottom taken apart? Do you want to see them side by side doing something? Give me some ideas. I'm always looking for ideas for new videos. I'm really not into making a lot of junk. I don't want to print toys and things that I'm just going to throw away. I do work as a teacher and I have a lot of students, so I will print toys for my students. But in my house, I mostly print functional prints. So if you have ideas for functional prints that you would like to see me compare on the SE and the KE, or different filaments that you want me to test, Creality gives me whatever filament I need. So mostly I've only used PLA so far. This is a silk PLA, this one I'm using here. So it does get a little stringy. And you can see those boxes there. There's also supports on this one. I wasn't really happy about that when I got it finished. I don't think it needed supports, but the slicer software automatically put them in there. So I didn't want to have it fail because of lack of supports, but cutting supports off is kind of a nuisance. But honestly, I could watch this all day. I mean, you can skip ahead to the end if you want, but I'm enjoying watching the printer print. I always do. If you like the video and you want to see more videos, if you think you've gotten value from it, I follow this one guy, he's a woodworker, and he does that too. He doesn't like the fact that people are always asking for subscribers, and I agree with him. But if you think you got value from this video, then a like and a subscribe would really help a lot. I don't want to ask that at the beginning of the video because you don't know if it's worth it or not. Now we're 25 minutes into the video. If you think you've got value, if you're still watching, then give us a like, give us a subscribe, leave a comment, and there it is. Okay, we're finished. We skipped ahead to the end. It's a pretty quiet machine. Well, I'll do videos in the future with it running so you can see how loud it is. You can see the total time for this print. It was not a short print. It was pretty long, but it's a pretty big print. It really came out gold on the front here. Let's take this baby off. And you can see all those things on the side. Those are the supports. I got to cut them off. And look at that bed adhesion raft that was automatically in the slicer settings is stuck on the build plate. Oh, it adhered very good. Yeah, all of these, I'll just have to break them off or cut them off. They'll come off pretty good. They are a nuisance. Because of the hexagon pattern on the side, I guess the slicer must have thought it needed supports for that. Even the screw holes, it thought it needed supports in the screw holes, which I really don't believe it did. I should have checked the slicer settings and turned off supports, but yeah, better to have them and break them off than to have the print fail, I suppose. Oh, it's really orange on the back, isn't it? Orangey gold on the bottom and then very gold on the front. So I just got to clean up the edges on this with a deburring tool. That'll be no problem. All right. Well, thanks a lot for watching, you guys. Appreciate you staying all the way to the end, and we'll see you next time. Have a great day.